and we're AFC North champions. And that sounds good and it feels good. But we didn't come here for that. We came here for what lies ahead. And so excited about that. Thankful.
How can you put into words just the thin line between if they make that kick, season's over, comes to a screeching halt, and missing that kick and the winter going on?
You know how it is. If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. One of the great characters in the National Football League, Mike Tomlin, said it best. There's no better way to answer that.
Yeah.
No apologies.
Yeah. Actually, I'd push back against Mike Tomlin, not the part about his uncle, but I would push back against the idea that they're not just playing for the AFC North. I reckon they were. Because I don't think they're going to do much in the playoffs.
But the season rolls on, and you get a chance to get their ass kicked by the Texans.
Yeah.
I was there for that. It's been the game was crazy. My travel was crazy. Good to be back here, guys, with you. No longer from a bunker, but here I am.
Yes. Can't tell if this is a hologram or not.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You know, Connor Rogers, you are my only hope.
Right.
It's a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
I don't know if he caught that. You know, he doesn't like that.
I
know you.
Star Trek, Star Wars, all the movies you name.
Yeah.
Never seen any of it.
Wait,
I don't consume media.
Hold on. Wait. Hang on.
Hang on.
Now I'm going to do. We have a huge show. You've never seen Star Wars?
I've seen like one of them when I was a kid. Just there's like nothing there for me.
Yeah.
I just would like to take one. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute, America. Jay Croucher, I want to look you in the eyes right now.
Yeah, I'm here.
And I just want to say to you right now in front of America, I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize to you genuinely from the bottom of my heart because I have to tell you something.
To me or America?
No, to you.
Okay.
I'm apologizing genuinely to you.
Sure.
Because when you said Magnolia was your favorite movie of all time, I thought, well, we're never going to have a movie take worse than that on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't say it's
but
bad.
Now we have.
But I didn't say it's bad.
You haven't seen it.
Like
How are you a red-blooded American male?
Isn't there 6 of them?
How are you a red-blooded American male and you've never seen Star Wars?
There 6
the original
of them?
trilogy. Yes, there's actually 9 of them, but whatever.
It's ridiculous.
Have you not seen Have you not seen Star Wars: A New Hope?
No. I would say The Godfather 1 and 2 is more important than all 9 of the Star Wars films.
I actually disagree with that. How have you not seen Star Wars?
It's funny, if you were to choose one, if you had to bet your life, just pick a random person who's over the age of 25. What's a movie that you've seen? And if you guess wrong, you're dead. You'd probably pick Star Wars.
Yes.
I think.
Yes. How have you avoided Star Wars?
Or like Shawshank Redemption would be like the next
No, I would
year.
say Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump would be up there.
More people have seen Forrest
The thing
Gump.
is that Star Wars you can watch when you're a kid as well. Like you're not watching Shawshank when you're 6.
It's Star Wars. Not only can you watch at any age.
KJ asked if I've seen The Lion King. Yes, I've seen The Lion King. That's a better answer.
I find your lack of faith
one movie,
disturbing.
very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say.
There's too many. I'm overwhelmed by there being 9 Star. Like, where do you even begin?
Start with just the core 3, the original 3 that have been around since the 70s. That's the other part. Part is that longevity. Like how you have not stumbled upon it at some point, like it's a coming of age thing, or even just like my kids have watched it just because they're like, well, I got to figure out what this is about.
Yeah.
I have some support in the chat. Cobra Kiger. Me and you against the world, Cobra Kiger. I agree.
Wow.
Cobra Kai.
I don't have a lot of support. Not much.
Cobra Kiger, tell me how you're never going to be on a Regulus Power Rankings again without telling me you're never going to be on a Regulus Power Ranking again. No, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
We've now derailed the show.
That was a mistake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sam Oshino says, I love Connor Rogers as much as the next objectively terrible take. Thank you.
I don't even disagree. I just haven't seen them.
Yeah. I would say my
blame
hot
my
take
parents.
On,
I don't know.
My hot take on the first one, episode 4, is that maybe it's not a hot take, but the start of the movie sucks. It's just C-3PO and R2-D2 in the desert for like 30 minutes. Like it goes forever.
It's not 30 minutes, but it takes a little while to get going because that was in the 70s when
we had more patience.
We weren't all tick-tocked out of our minds, and people could sit there still for 2.5 hours and watch something.
But in the desert for a long time.
Listen. I will sit here and tell you. The dialogue isn't good. The acting is not good. It starts slow, and yet it is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca. You've heard of these names?
Yeah, no. Like I said, I've seen one of them when I was a kid, but it just doesn't mean anything to me.
Which one did you see?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It had to be like somewhere in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Brian Hickman 3612. Todd Zeal watches the Star Wars movies. Just saying.
Yeah.
You're absolutely. I'm sure he does.
Because he's older than me.
Yeah, because he's an American hero. because he's a goddamn American hero is what he is. Todd Zeal. He's a 2-time Emmy winner. You know, and when that's how you become an Emmy winner is you find yourself knowledgeable about
batted 190 in the playoffs in 2000. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Everyone's just asking like what movies I've seen. Like someone's like, have I seen Rocky? I've seen all the Rockies.
What's the
even
most famous
bad
movie
ones.
that you've never seen?
The most famous movie I've never
Most like
seen.
popular, notable.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I hadn't seen like Titanic until like 5 years ago.
Wow,
that
that's
was probably
pretty shocking for you.
Yeah.
I've never seen Godfather 2.
I've seen
the first one. I've seen Godfather 1, but I just never got around to
That's a good answer.
Godfather 2.
You're a screenwriter in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Godfather 2 is one of the objectively
And I'm the
10
one,
greatest movies of all time.
I'm the asshole on this desk because I haven't seen 9 Star Wars
Paul.
movies.
I've seen Godfather
Apologize.
1. I don't claim that that's a good take, though.
Wait a minute. When I spoiled Fredo on the boat, you didn't know what that means.
No.
You actually spoiled Godfather 2.
Godfather 2 for you.
I'm not. I mean,
Came out in 1974.
That seems impossible.
No, I'm not mad at it either. I'm not mad at it either.
You don't know. I know it was you, Fredo. You don't know what that means.
I know that. I know. There's enough quotes, like enough Godfather quotes, like
this is unbelievable.
Mow Green in the eye and the whole stuff. Like I know some of that.
Yeah.
I know enough, like pop culture, but I don't think. Maybe I have. No, I actually don't think I've ever seen Godfather 2. I know I've seen Godfather 1 once, but when I was.
You'd probably remember it as it's one of the 10
ago.
Greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, I mean, anyway.
You should go home and watch it.
Maybe I will. I'll do a book report on it.
It's long. It's long.
I have 9 movies to watch.
You have 9 movies to watch.
Unbelievable.
I'm owning it, though. I mean, like, I completely agree that that's a missing. You asked me what's the most famous
That's like
movie.
killing a man and saying, yeah, I'm owning it. I killed him. It doesn't make it right.
I won't be tried in court.
Yeah. But it's an older movie. It's an older movie.
I've seen Jaws.
But I would.
I've seen a lot of movies. I just haven't watched all 9 of the Star Wars movies.
I would argue, though, Star Wars, because of its cultural significance. No question, the Godfather series is widely considered like one of the, if not the greatest American trilogy of all time. I'm with you, and especially the first 2 movies, right? But Star Wars is just like I feel like that touches everybody. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's a bigger like.
I'll answer that in due time.
I'll just tell you this: you go to a theme park. There's no Godfather Land, but there's
It should be. It'd be a lot more fun walking around with a Tommy gun in the streets.
There you go.
All right. Anyways, we have football to talk about somehow. It's 12:07. It's a new record for us.
It is. I'm sorry. Well, it's whatever. It's the Monday after. Like whatever.
We got Weekend Warriors. We got Back to the Futures on a Monday. A little plot twist there. Before we do anything, though, Tyler Loop drinks for free today.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, 100% Tyler Loop drinks for free. Now, I don't think he can drink in Baltimore, so, absolutely, stuntman Chuck. Yeah, he needs it. We'll get to that game. I guess we are going to get to that game right now, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Kid missed a bad kick, right? We get to the Rotoworld Player. It's 44-yard field goal, centered up perfectly.
Good snap.
It's a good snap. It's a kick you got to make. You're a professional kicker in the NFL. Ravens, they expect you to make that kick. You got to make that kick.
He hadn't missed that kick all year. He made every kick inside 50 yards.
Yeah. But the 2 things I will say here is that Acrisure Stadium is known for a couple of things. Small-minded, fat security guards, and slightly less known is this: it's a really hard stadium to kick in. Chris Boswell is widely considered one of the best kickers, if not the best kicker in the NFL. And that same night, and he's kicked in that stadium for years and years and years. He's a veteran. And that same night, literally 2 minutes prior, he misses an extra point, an even easier kick.
Yeah.
And this is Chris Boswell. Because you know why? That stadium is a weird, hard stadium to kick in. And so I'm not saying it excuses the miss. The kid missed a kick. It's a bad play. He missed the kick. But I'm just saying, people are like, Ravens fans are actually going to Tyler Loop's girlfriend's Instagram and MFing her and him.
That's just lame.
And you're like, stop it.
Sucks.
Stop it. The kid sat in front of the press. He answered every question. Right. Like, what do you want the guy?
He had a great rookie year. He missed the kick.
He missed a kick. And oh, by the way, maybe how about your defense not give up a game-winning drive twice in a row? Yeah. And it comes. How might I make it down to that? How about Lamar Jackson not being, fairly pedestrian for the first half?
Yeah. How about
putting up more than 10 points in the first half?
Yeah. How about on the 2nd and 2 we line up on the line of scrimmage and don't take that penalty that pushed them back 5 yards and they needed a miracle to Isaiah Likely to even get the kick in the first place. Also, why are we kneeling and going back 2 yards?
So that's the one that they had 14 seconds. They had a timeout.
Yeah, run a play. Run Derrick Henry off the middle. See if he gets into the end zone.
You surrender 2 to 3 yards. The worst case, you just stop at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I get that.
And I guess he still misses the kick anyway, but the whole process to get there was a little funky.
I mean, I guess the only argument there is if does Lamar get sacked? Does he throw a pick or anything like that? You're in makeable field goal range. Yeah. Does Derrick Henry fumble? Does the fumble issue come up?
Run like this.
I understand. I'm just saying, I understand that criticism that they could have gotten 5 more yards or whatever.
It's a little Monday morning quarterback-ish, I know.
You expect, especially given the fact that kid's never missed that kick before, that it's 44 yards. You expect the kid to be able to make the kick. And so, but my point is anyway, you feel bad for Tyler Loop. Bad play. He missed a kick that he should have made, but that loss is not entirely on Tyler Loop. There's a lot of other Ravens that, Shirley's Ben Johnson. Between the priest blessing the end zone and Jay having a championship bet, that kid had no chance. That's fair. He was trying to overcome both the priest and the curse of Jay.
Oh, the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that, yeah.
To be fair, so I had the Steelers to win the division and the Ravens a big bet to win the Super Bowl. And so the only bad outcome for me was the Ravens limping through and all of their players getting hurt as they won the division to get eliminated. And that's what it looked like it was going to happen. Because Kyle Hamilton gets knocked out. Everyone goes down. The Ravens aren't that good. They're just not that good. The pass defense is just untenable. They haven't had a pass rush since Elvis Dumerville. Where are the pass rushers in Baltimore? They couldn't get any pressure.
That's what sunk them this year.
It's just not a great team.
And they're secondary. They're getting burned by Calvin Austin and Adam Thielen.
When Kyle Hamilton came out of the game in the second half, it was jarring how much it changed. One guy, and he's a great player, but it was like the boat sank immediately.
You're just
it's like we're one Kyle Hamilton injury away from death.
I would argue that Hamilton, outside of Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons, Kyle Hamilton might be worth more to his defense than any player is to any team. Because as you can see, as soon as he came out, they completely fell apart.
Certainly up there.
Completely.
For everything.
Unbelievable. Adam, listen, I'm glad my bet cashed. I had only the Derrick Henry anytime touchdown didn't cash, but Henry over the rushing yards, but Adam Thielen over on the receiving yards cashed. It was 18.5, and obviously cashed significantly. I thought they would just do a bunch of dink and dunk stuff, which is what ended up happening. But the fact that they couldn't guard Adam Thielen, bones of dust Adam Thielen,
Calvin Austin's getting open winning touchdowns. It's absurd.
Yeah, it was weird.
Fryer move.
Everything. All these forgotten characters.
The sad thing is that Lamar looked great when he was given the chance. That's the most Lamar-esque he's looked since week 1.
Oh, for sure.
The bomb touchdown, obviously, where Brett stood there. It's he's basically the only guy in the league outside of Josh Allen who can make that play. So a shame that his
2 defenders and and Zay Flowers. The first touchdown you're talking about.
But I think the Steelers deserved to win that game. Thought they were the better team.
Yeah, it totally changed in the second half. And at the end of the day, they got it done. Yeah, I agree with you. Just the way they played on the line of scrimmage. The actual fantasy takeaways here, is Kenneth Gainwell now on the radar for next year?
I think he has to be. Obviously, it depends on what the quarterback situation is, I think. He definitely benefited from Aaron Rodgers. I believe his average up to the target was 0.5. It seemed like it. He definitely benefited from a quarterback that liked to dump it off a little bit. But, I feel like Kenneth Gainwell, maybe it's because of the way he came into the league, maybe it's because of the way that Philadelphia used him, but I just feel I feel the same way about Kenneth Gainwell that I feel about, Parker Washington, weirdly enough, which is just he's just a good football player. We have to change our perception of him.
Right.
He's a good football player. When he's gotten the ball in his hand, he makes plays. You know what I mean? And I don't think it. At first I thought it was that's a little PPR scammy, and it's sort of Arthur Smith, and it's just Rodgers doing noodle arm stuff. But the more I just watch him, I think he's a good football player. This is a guy that, listen, it's PPR only, I think, but this is a guy that was a top 20 fantasy running back in PPR formats, top 5 among running backs in targets, receptions, and receiving yards, guys. Again, depends on, I assume Arthur Smith is back next year, and we'll see who their quarterback is. We'll see if Rodgers comes back or not. But, yeah, I think Kenneth Gainwell is a, if I had to rank it today, I think he's a top he's a top 30 running back in PPR formats next year.
Jay, sometimes producer Steven or producer Pete or producer Adam, they'll write like interesting questions in the rundown, and I'll decipher, what should we go through. This one, though, I feel like I'm forced to ask you. It says, when will Father Time finally catch up to Derrick Henry?
So what is he, 32?
He's 32 yesterday.
He could be 45, and I don't care.
His birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, so obviously he's completely unprecedented in the history of the NFL, where he's still behaving like a top 5 running back in the league at this point of his career. I think that he is such an absurd physical specimen that we just have to assume that the laws of science don't apply to him. Now, he has to slow down at some point, but I'm just willing to accept that we need to see that before we project it, because we've been projecting it. He broke his foot in like 2021, and then everyone was like, all right, well, this is going to be the point at which he falls off. This is 2026. This is 5 years later, and he's still doing this. He single-handedly beat the Packers last week, and he was the entire offense in the first half here. So, yeah, I think that each year the risk, it has to go up a little bit. That's just how aging works, but he may just not be normal.
I don't think there's a maybe about it. He's clearly not normal.
Right.
But, it's interesting. Before the game, I was on the field when I barely made it there. We'll get into that in a second here. But
security again?
No. My travel. We'll finish up Derrick Henry, and I'll tell you about my travel. But real quickly, I was talking with like the head trainer. I had a conversation with the head trainer of the Ravens, and we were just talking about Derrick Henry's longevity. And he just said, he's been in the NFL for a long time. He's just never seen somebody that takes care of his body, that takes workouts seriously, that understands what it means to be a professional football player in terms of leg. Like, he never misses a workout.
Yeah.
He's constantly asking the trainer to push him, during workouts in terms of, whether it's leg day or arm day or whatever. Like, it just, just like he's got. Derrick Henry has taken care of his body down to a science, like his specific body. Like I said to him, what's incredible is not just the longevity, but the longevity specific to his body type, right? Because I said, this is going to sound so random, but remember Brandon Jacobs?
Yeah.
Who I felt like is a similar body type. He was just this huge, massive human being, and he was good for like 3 years.
Yeah.
But then he just broke down because when you're that big,
you're naturally an upright runner, so your strike zone is bigger and just you take tougher shots. It's not like, look at how low to the ground like Achane is or Kyron Williams. It's a different strike zone. When you're that tall, you can get teed off on at the knees, the waist, the hips.
Yeah,
so that's why taller backs don't age gracefully.
Correct.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, or you think about some of those scat backs. Like, I remember like older reference that you may not get, but I remember Tony Dorsett saying like he never once got hit straight on. That like one of the reasons why Tony Dorsett had such a great career.
Tony Dorsett was in Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes, he was. He was the bad guy. Cobra Kiger, first off, you're dead to me after signing with Connor.
Very alive to me.
Someone else can answer this question. I'm not answering Cobra Kiger.
You can sit right here between
Henry
Jay and
a
I.
first-round PPR draft pick next year. No, I don't think so. Just because of the lack of receiving and the fact that he'll be 33 years old, so we have to assume.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not going to acknowledge Cobra Kiger, but I do agree with you, Jay, just in general.
Yeah. It's not a reflection on him falling off a cliff. It's just, he wasn't a first-round draft pick going into this year either.
And it's a reflection of him siding with Connor that it's okay that he hasn't seen Star Wars.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next game. Unless you have something else. Oh, yes,
Travis, just very quickly. Yes. Like, here's this is how much you guys all mean to me. What I have gone through to be here today. See, so Saturday I was in Florida, as you guys know. I flew from Florida Saturday night to NYC. Didn't get in till 3 a.m. because the flight was delayed. Then from then the next morning here for 9 a.m. for football.
They made you this?
Yeah, they made me this. Yes, it went a little faster than I was able to talk, to be honest with you. But basically, I flew from Florida to New York. New York, drove to Stanford. Stanford did the show. After the show yesterday, flew to Pittsburgh, did the show. 5:45 a.m. wake-up call this morning, back here to do the show today. So Florida to New York, New York to Stanford, Stanford to New York, New York to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh to New York, New York to Stanford, and then tonight I will be sleeping well. I'll sleep probably at like 2:30.
Burks and flannels, 2:30 in the afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah, a half hour after this. I'll be
college?
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm exhausted. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep.
Just power through. You're going to ruin your sleep cycle. Berks and flannels. Barry knows things about taking care of his body and being a physical specimen.
That's 1,000% right. Yeah, 100%. I'm 25.
It's like a car powered by chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Same as premium gasoline. Yeah. Oh, God. All right, our next game, Arizona against the Rams. Surprisingly competitive for at least 3 quarters of it, it felt like. But Matthew Stafford, you see him and Puka Nacua along top the fantasy board. Jay, I know you have some feelings on the MVP race. We can stop here and do that now if you want.
I just want to say, before we get to the MVP race, Puka Nacua has had like 120 yards stolen from him in the past 2 games. He keeps having these 40-yard touchdown bombs stripped away from him. He's absolutely out of his mind this year. He also missed 2 games. Right. If Nacua had stayed healthy and only got screwed by the refs, and then some of these penalties were penalties, he could have flirted with 2,000 yards. This man's an absolute machine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, by the way, he made a ridiculous catch in the end zone, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that's Puka."
Yeah.
Like it's like the 7th different
we're
ridiculous
immune to
catch.
his greatness. So some breaking news here. The Arizona Cardinals are firing coach Jonathan Gannon, sources say. Endless losses to finish an injury-riddled season spelled the end of Gannon, who should be a top-tier defensive coordinator candidate now.
Okay. All right. Well, added to the list, they call it Black Monday, and so it's I believe it is now the 4th coach that has lost
Stefanski, Pete Carroll, Raheem Morris.
Right, and now Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, we'll go through all of them.
We'll go through all those
after the games,
a little bit later as well. So
hopefully an offensive bump for this Arizona team that'll presumably have a new starting quarterback next year. But
maybe not.
Michael Wilson, I mean, I would buy into Michael Wilson next year. Like, I wouldn't think this is fluky. Yeah. I guess there's the Marv dynamic there.
There's a lot.
The garbage time problem.
I think he's going to be the Jawan Jennings that we wanted Jawan Jennings to be, where last year Jennings really kind of breaks out, and then he's been banged up and he's had some tough moments with his route running this year. But Michael Wilson, I mean, just the plays that he's making, next level plays. He lit up the Rams defense. The Rams have an elite top 7 defense, and he carved them up. Yeah, I mean, look, so 5 for 99 and a touchdown, and his second matchup with the Rams, and he had like 140 yards the last time he played the Rams. Right? So the positives are the 5 games that Harrison Jr. missed this year, 26 fantasy points per game, 119 yards per game, 32% target share. The other problem, though, is as we talk about, targets are earned, right? And so in the games with Harrison active, single-digit fantasy points in 10 of 12 games, just a 14% target share. Now, is that a function of he just wasn't getting open, or just the way the offense is designed that it was going to McBride and Harrison? The other question is there's so much unknown, right? Because so much, all of his production was with Jacoby Brissett. If there's a new quarterback, I sort of think about Brian Thomas last year, and obviously Thomas profiled as a much higher prospect, much more talented prospect than Michael Wilson. But still, Brian Thomas Jr. had this unbelievable run with mostly Mac Jones last year, drafted high, and then Trevor Lawrence comes in, and for whatever reason, they can't seem to get on the same page this year. Coaching change as well. So now there's going to be a coaching change. We would assume that whoever the new head coach of the Arizona Cardinals is, they're going to bring in their own offense coordinator. So you would assume Drew Petzing is going to be looking for a job, right? Just by nature of the fact that Gannon has been fired, so they figure they clean house with the staff. And so in a new offense with a new coach, and probably potentially a new quarterback. There's a chance we talked about that maybe they take a day 2 or day 3 project and they keep Brissett there as kind of a bridge. But so there's just so much that's going to be unknown about Michael Wilson. I'm with you. I think he's talented. I don't know if he's this talented, but I think that Jawan Jennings is probably a pretty good comp. I think he's like a wide receiver 3. Jawan Jennings from a fantasy football point of view. He's like a wide receiver 3-ish.
And when Jennings got over like 7 different injuries this year, he was good again.
Yep.
So I think when you look at it from that perspective,
he's also Michael Wilson is like He's like Austin Reeves, where whenever Luka Doncic sits a game, then Austin Reeves is just going to give you 35. Like, he can scale up his role where he can take on a wide receiver workload, receiver one workload, seemingly.
That was Alexander Madison for a long time.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we got a Madison week. Yeah. He's RB1. Yeah. When any other week, you could not play him.
Yeah. No, that's a really good comp. And, Connor, you missed it on Fantasy Football pregame Sunday morning, but one of the things we talked about was sort of like biggest surprise. And for me, my biggest surprise was Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson, basically, I mean, he had five games, right? but he finishes as wide receiver 16 on a fantasy points per game, over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. He finished with a higher fantasy points per game than Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Ladd McConkey, Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton. I mean, like all these guys, like he had more fantasy points than CeeDee Lamb. Like it's, and he did that basically in a handful of games here. Jay, I am curious about your thoughts on the MVP race. I got into an argument.
I saw it. Yeah.
With Jason Garrett.
I was on your side.
Thank you very much. I got into an argument with Jason Garrett. By the way, Jason Garrett gets into an argument with no one. He is literally he is the nicest person on the planet. And he never,
you can piss off anyone.
I really can. I do have that ability.
Let's test the scale. So we got past Jason Garrett. Who's the next nicest person that you could piss off?
Come here, Mother Teresa.
We start bringing in priests.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get the Pope as a guest on the show.
Exactly. Where's Pope Leo? He's a Bears fan, right? Jason Garrett, the nicest guy in the world, and also, by the way, tends not to get into arguments on air. That's not his on-air persona, right? But the conversation came up about MVP last night on the Football Night in America pod. Did they put out the clip socially? Is that where you saw it?
Saw it on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I'll have to check that out. Or you guys can go search for it as well. Yeah, I mean, you're watching it on YouTube right now.
You lived it.
I lived it. But in essence, basically, the conversation was around who was the MVP. I took Drake May.
Okay.
He took Matthew Stafford. And one of the arguments that I made for Drake May is that I think he is the most, again, it all depends on how you define the award, but I said he is the most valuable to his team of the people. Jason Garrett's take is that he's basically like, wait a minute, you don't think Matthew Stafford is valuable to the Rams? Like you don't, and right. He's had an unbelievable year. And I said, very valuable to the Rams. He's had a great year. But my argument back to him was, in essence, that if you took Stafford off the Rams and you took May off the Patriots fall further down. That the Patriots quarterback by Josh Dobbs are a much worse team than the Rams quarterback by Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
That Stafford, for all his brilliance, and he is brilliant, he deserves the second place in the MVP. He's thrown to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams with Sean McVay as his coach. Yeah. Drake May's out here with Matt Collins and Demario Douglas.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with all that. The one thing I'd say about the MVP is that a lot of people are throwing Drake May's numbers out in his numerical advantage over Stafford, and May leads Stafford in basically every stat outside of passing touchdowns. A lot of those have been near the goal line for Stafford and passing yards. And they're throwing the numbers out because May had an easier strength of schedule. May had an easier strength of schedule in terms of the teams that he played. He did not have an easier strength of schedule in terms of the pass defenses that he played, right? So May had to play the Cleveland Browns. Stafford played the Niners twice. The Niners are a much better team than the Cleveland Browns. Who has a better defense? The Browns do. And so when you look at their opposing pass defenses, like by EPA against, May had the 20th hardest schedule and Stafford had the 17th. So it's just not an argument. Yeah. And people who are making that argument, they're just not looking closely enough into the numbers. So I think once you adjust for all of that, I think Drake May is the MVP. I don't think Stafford would be a travesty, but I just worry. I think that people are getting very caught up in strength of schedule and just pure passing touchdown numbers and not looking deeper into it than that.
And he, after sort of padding his stats against Arizona, he's now the betting favorite, right?
Yeah, but the problem with that is Drake May did that to the Jets last week. This is the problem with the week-to-week conversation. Like the stat conversation is just, which probably favors your Drake May point overall because Stafford has more passing touchdowns. Yeah. But like the week-to-week of this all is idiotic because Drake May is playing a JV Jets team and they're throwing the ball nonstop, and then Stafford plays an Arizona team. So it's very tricky.
It's so stupid because like the Patriots got inside the 5 like 4 times yesterday, and each time they ran it in for a touchdown with TreVeyon or Rhamondre. Like if they checked into passing plays and thrown touchdowns on 3 of those 4, then Drake May probably just wins MVP.
Then the award's flawed. That's a horrible, that's horrific logic for the award. But the problem is there probably are a lot of voters that go by exactly what you guys are just breaking down.
No, it's awful. The only true award is Comeback Player of the Year. That's the one.
I agree.
That's the one where they get it right.
It's done with pride,
it's done with pride and honor.
A real analytical system.
Absolutely. They really studied. The voters for the other awards just kind of like, hey kid, who do you want?
Yes.
They ask their children to pick a checkbox, but at least Comeback Player of the Year they take seriously.
Yeah, that's my award for sure.
Christian McCaffrey, to be clear. No surprises there anymore.
Yeah, you never know. Here we got Bears-Lions on the screen, so I guess we're going to go with that right now. How How many tight ends are you drafting ahead of Colston Loveland next year, Matthew? I mean, obviously the 25-plus point performance yesterday, but he's been really good the second half of the season.
He's been really good.
We say it all the time. We want shares of Ben Johnson's skill talent next year.
Yeah. I mean,
McBride
it's probably like what?
McBride and Bowers. We can get the two easy ones out of the way.
I want to know I want to see if Daniel Jones, but I've probably taken Warren over him. I know Warren dropped off towards the end of the season.
Yeah, when they're playing like 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Right, and Ryan Leonard.
I'm still high on Warren as well.
I really like Warren. And then you got Loveland.
The Tuckler, if he's back healthy.
Tuckler, I think I'd probably Tuck Daddy. But yeah, but it's like 5 or 6. Fannin, maybe Harold Fannin.
That's an interesting one. I think I would go Loveland because of faith in the offense over Fannin. Now, that's me sitting here saying that, and I have no idea who the hell's coaching the Browns. No idea who's playing quarterback.
Exactly. So, but, Fannin's in that conversation as well. Kittle, I'd take Kittle ahead of him still. But
also, jury's still out on Caleb. Caleb had a good year of development. We're not sure that he's going to be an elite passer.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about him.
Yeah. I think he will be great, and I would be invested in Caleb, and he should deliver. But we haven't seen him play it, getting to a top 5 in the MVP ballot.
But Loveland's in the conversation with, he's right there next one. I mean, I guess, you have to figure somewhat of a bounce back for Laporta. Rhamondre Stevenson is in that conversation.
Based on upside?
Yeah, based on upside. Depending, assuming Keenan Allen moves on and obviously.
Dolphins sign Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
He's top 7 tight end in fantasy.
Chiefs.
Right.
The Chiefs have been rumored to be in on Isaiah Likely.
Same kind of.
God help us, but Kyle Pitts is in that conversation.
Oh, man.
Kyle Pitts is the second best tight end in fantasy this year.
Yes.
That's the kind of year we're dealing with.
I know.
Recount.
No, I know. But
we could change the scoring system if that's the case.
But at some point you have to be like, you know what?
Yep.
All right. Anyway. So, but the point is we're going to be very high on Colston Loveland next year. We're going to be very high on this Bears offense and Ben Johnson, especially because it feels like whether they move on from Cole Kmet or they just use him as a blocker, Loveland's going to be a featured part of this offense.
All right, we got a question here from Ved, of course, an FFHH regular. Rank these tight ends in draft ADP next year: Loveland, Warren, and Fannin.
Assuming that I have to do it as it stands today. So, again, we don't know who Fannin's quarterback is.
We never said Kittle, by the way.
Right? Yeah, no, I said Kittle.
Oh, you did say Kittle?
I said Kittle.
Okay.
Yeah. I said Kittle. I think I'm going Warren, Loveland, and Fannin, but that would be my order. But it's close.
Yep.
It's close. I'm assuming Daniel Jones is back next year at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
I know we know Steichen is back. They've already said, confident, Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen are returning. So, yeah.
Yep. My low-key favorite moment of yesterday was as the Lions were driving to win the game, cutting to break, and Ben Johnson mouthing to him, just to himself, should have gone for it. Because they didn't go for the 4th and 5 on their side of the field, which I liked. The idea that, he should have. You just go for it on 4th and 5, you're on your own side of the field.
I just like the fact that he talks to himself.
Yeah, that's
totally normal.
A lot of the great coaches are absolutely insane. Brian Hickman, all of these guys are second to Mercedes Lewis. You're someone that gets the show.
Yeah.
Brian Hickman.
Brian Hickman.
We'll never give
You're
up
a
on Mercedes
there
Lewis.
You go.
A real regular.
Yeah.
Our next
Steven,
game.
Make a note to rank Brian Hickman ahead of Cobra Kiger
I have
on
a
Friday.
Vote. I do have a vote.
Just one, though.
Just one. I will lose.
Yeah.
Our next game, big win for the Giants. I know you were fired up, Matthew.
Oh, yes.
The Giants.
Fantastic.
The Giants could have the #1 overall pick.
I lost, by the way, not only I was so fired up because I lost money on this because we talked about this on Sunday and Jay was just like, how are the Cowboys not favored by more than 3? Like the Cowboys are actually going to play their starters and Giants should actively try to lose this game, and yet they did not.
But
and then we got Joe Milton in there.
You always defaulted Jay.
I
Pick
do.
up lines, you never pick me.
Yeah.
How's my Bills 6.5 line looking?
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Pretty good.
Could have got an alt line on that.
What did I take? What was my? I took Henry over 92.5.
Okay, you were there at like halftime.
Back. Up with the bang.
Yeah, exactly. I do, and can I tell you why?
Yeah. He's our betting analyst.
Well, there's that. But
that's pretty fair.
Jay sells it really well. That's
It's about the presentation as opposed to the substance.
Yeah, even when you're full of
That's
it,
part of the game.
You sell it really well. I got to give you credit for that.
Yeah.
You sell it really well.
You kind of tell it like a mystery tale.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the end and you're like, whoa! I never thought of that bet.
I prepare it like I'm Daniel Craig in Knives Out. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for.
I like it. Knives Out or Knives Out Glass Onion?
The original. Knives Out. Yeah, Glass Onion gets a bit weird. Edward Norton's a strange character.
It is a strange. But I think there's a new one.
Yeah, the third one.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, it's good. It's okay.
I got to do that one and then Godfather 2. Yeah. Obviously, Knives Out and then
you know the ending.
I
like of all your spoiling, that's as good as it gets. Yeah. Actually, spoiling Godfather 2, which is a very old flick.
I don't care.
All right. So the bad for the Giants, draft position. The good, Jaxson Dart looked awesome this year. One of your best calls of the season, Matthew. You said when Jaxson Dart starts, he'll be a QB1 the rest of the way. He's just played really well, and the supporting cast around him, I mean, he lifted most of it up around him.
He was fantastic, and it didn't matter who else. No Malik Neighbors in this game. No Wan'Dale Robinson either. But ends up with over 20 fantasy points in this one. Finishes as a top 10 fantasy quarterback as well. Like again, 5 for 32 on the ground. Like just gets you points with his legs, gets you points with his arms. They're not scared to throw it around. We don't know who their coach is going to be. We do know who their general manager is going to be. And while I'm very excited about the fact that they won this game, congratulations to the G-men. Love the fact that you guys are picking 5th. That's 2 weeks ago you had a chance at the number 1 pick, and now you're picking 5th. Love that for you guys. That's great. But also that you're keeping Joe Schoen. Connor, you're a member of the New York media. You're an Emmy Award losing member.
Emmy nominated as well.
I prefer to Emmy losing, but Emmy losing member of the New York media.
At least say 2 times.
2 times, back to back.
Yep. No, 2 out of 3 years. Yeah, I wasn't nominated in between. Don't give me that much credit.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
2 out of the last 3. Your thoughts on Joe Schoen retaining his job? They came out earlier today and said.
This is a tough one, right? Because in all serious, like the light side of it is Joe Schoen has no business having this job anymore. I don't think it'll limit their coaching search because I know a lot of people are like, why would a coach go work when they have a lame duck GM? And it's a fair question, but the Giants, they have a lot of talent. People love this organization. It's an old school organization that like coaches, people want to coach there. They should get a good head coaching candidate. The more difficult part of this.
Get one. Listen, there's only 32 of those jobs, and this job has a quarterback.
Abdul Carter played really well the last couple weeks of the season.
And they got the 5th pick.
So yeah, the tricky part of this situation, and in all seriousness, Joe Schoen has no business retaining this job. As you saw yesterday with the game ball, John Mara is going through a serious battle with cancer, and I think they just do not, unfortunately, feel equipped to run a GM search. And like, there's a lot of problems with that side of it. But I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, and it's a shame. I hope Joe Schoen takes this opportunity and rebounds from it. But I know Giants fans, I'd say 99.9% of them today are wildly disappointed with this decision.
I'm sure. I said this before, that I thought they should have, if they were going to keep one of them, I would have kept Daboll over Schoen. Because it was Daboll that was the one that wanted Jaxson Dart, that developed Jaxson Dart. Doesn't seem to get any credit for that.
I know. He wanted him in the draft.
Yeah.
I'll just never forget the draft video that we have public that says, like, you're getting your guy. All right, we're going to roll the dice. Like, Jaxson Dart was like a 5th-round flyer.
Right.
It's like, what?
Your first-round pick. Yeah.
And now he's saved his job, in all seriousness.
Yep.
So Jaxson Dart will be very high on the quarterback.
My only other question out of this game, Connor, was did you see anything from Jaydon Blue that interests you for next year?
No, I'm not buying into Jaydon Blue. I mean, maybe one day as a 3rd down back would change the pace, speed, and pass catching, but I think Dallas, they love having a real masher between the tackles. Yeah. Bring back Javonte Williams or Malik Davis or get another guy. The fact that it took this long for them to even want to put him on the field tells you everything that's gone on there.
Completely agree.
So, all right, our next game, guys, New England beats Miami by quite a bit of points here, and I think the real story with New England is which running back is going to have better value next season, because as amazing as TreVeyon always looks by the eye test, Rhamondre Stevenson is not going anywhere right now.
I got to tell you something. We had Rhamondre's jersey on the wall. We took it down. We may have to put it back.
Ever since we took it down.
Ever since we took it down. It's like the opposite of Jay. It's the anti-Jay. Since over the last 4 weeks, Rhamondre Stevenson's been the 3rd best running back in fantasy football. He's averaging over 22 points per game. He's averaging over 10 yards per touch. It's not just cheap touchdowns. Like he's catching the ball, he's running the ball. I mean, he looked explosive. He looked like the guy from 2 years ago when he proudly was on the wall, rightfully on the wall.
Yes. As opposed to just passively staying on the wall because
we didn't have anyone better.
Yeah.
Because we still haven't gotten a Jackson Smith and Jigba jersey. Yeah.
The thing with Rhamondre, so early in the season, what created a lot of variance with him is that he kept on fumbling, right? So he had the 2 early fumbles, and then it's like, he might be one more fumble away from losing his job for good. I don't think he fumbled the rest of the season. So they seem to have faith in him as the vet on this very old school team. Old school evidenced again by the fact that they wouldn't check into pass plays at the goal line to try and get Drake May MVP because this organization, this team is about winning the old-fashioned way, and we'll just run in touchdowns. I think TreVeyon Henderson is still the running back that you want next year over Rhamondre just because of the ceiling. Rhamondre doesn't really have a ceiling next year because TreVeyon is just too good and there's too much of a talent scope there, and they spent so much draft equity on TreVeyon. But yeah, I suspect that Rhamondre isn't going anywhere, and he's going to cap the upside of TreVeyon if he sticks around.
There's no question about that because I assume that Josh McDaniels is back next year as the coordinator. I could see him getting some head coaching looks given how good the offensive looked this year. But my assumption is that McDaniels is back next year with the Patriots. And if you think about Josh McDaniels' first stint with the Patriots, he always used multiple running backs. Like this is somebody that has generally used multiple running backs when he's been a coach, and it's working for them. Like by using Rhamondre, they're able to use TreVeyon the way they want to. They don't care about our fantasy football needs. Like the running game has been very effective for New England this year. So unfortunately for us, I don't see that changing anytime soon. I agree with you. I think it's TreVeyon over Rhamondre next year in terms of rankings, but both guys will have value and both guys will cap the value of each other.
All right, let's get through some of the coaching carousel. Pete Carroll was fired today, one and done with the Raiders. We mentioned Jonathan Gannon has been fired as well while we were doing the show, so he's done with the Cardinals. So for the Raiders next year, man, they have the #1 pick, so they will have a rookie quarterback. We can all safely assume this offensive line's got to be better for Ashton Jeanty as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this is something where this is also an interesting opportunity, again, because there is a little bit of talent on the Raiders, but you have the #1 pick, and in theory, you're going to get Fernando Mendoza, or maybe do you think there's any chance like Moore goes #1?
There's a chance.
It's not a lock. Moore,
it's not a lock. Mendoza would be the favorite, and he deserves to be. The best part is they play against each other in the next round of the college football playoff. Moore hasn't decided if he's going to declare. The last I heard from talking to somebody that would know, it is based on this run in the playoff. So if you want Dante Moore in the draft, you want to keep rooting for him to keep going. Mendoza's in the draft, and I think would be the favorite to go #1 overall.
Either way, so we'll see. This will be interesting to see what influence Tom Brady has. Is there a Tom Brady coach somewhere in his tree that comes back as well? 2-time Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski. Also, not a lot of people know he won that award twice, but Kevin Stefanski.
Won't win it this year.
Yeah, won't win it this year as well. I will tell you what he will have is a job very, very soon.
I think so.
I think he's a hell of a coach. You guys know that. I think he's probably the best coaching candidate out there right now.
Yeah. Definitely.
As a head coach.
Yeah, he's won Coach of the Year like 2 of the past 5 years.
Yeah,
he's gonna
two-time Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski. Friend of the podcast, Kevin Stefanski, been on our show.
Yeah, it's funny how because Vrabel will probably win Coach of the Year this year. So we've got Vrabel and Stefanski alternating Coach of the Years. We've got Joe Burrow winning Comeback Player of the Year every second season. He'll win again next year. But yeah, I think that. I mean, the Giants would make a lot of sense for him to be mentoring Jackson Dart.
I think
couldn't imagine someone better than that.
Yeah, if he can get another good defensive coordinator there. Our last one here, Raheem Morris let go last night. A little, not shocking, but the way the Falcons finished this season, thought he had a chance. And GM Terry Fano, that's not surprising. He's been let go. Falcons have a lot of important pieces for fantasy on this offense, Matthew, and we'll see if they make an offensive-minded head coaching hire.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, because the weird part is, it's like, yeah, I mean, the Falcons underperformed, but they also had a bunch of injury issues as well. I see getting rid of Fontenot, and I guess once you get rid of Fontenot, a new general is going to want a clean slate. But I don't think Raheem Morris did a bad job. I don't know that he did a great job, but felt like
it just doesn't seem like a particularly well-run operation there.
Just overall.
All the
penalties
situation
too.
Yeah,
the quarterback
situation, all the penalties in that game against Tampa, like it just doesn't seem like everything runs on time there.
Yeah.
Ironically, the way it kind of does seem like it does run on time with New Orleans, who they beat yesterday. But yeah, I think that I'm not that surprised that Raheem is gone.
Yeah.
We're going to take our first break. When we're back, Weekend Warriors, right after this.
because we appreciate you so much for everything you do. I just want you to know all of Jacksonville behind you. We know it's a meme that's kind of going viral, so we got your own people.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence gifted grills by his teammates. Pretty sick.
1,000%.
Expensive gift.
Very expensive gift. Yeah, I was really touched when you guys did the same for me. Oh, wait, you didn't.
No.
Yeah, no grills for Daddy. What are you going to do?
Oh, Daddy.
Yeah, you heard it.
Let the daddy.
Grill daddy. Chubby daddy. Yeah.
Chubby daddy.
Yeah. Cheer daddy.
A lot of daddy.
Lot of daddies. But Trevor Lawrence was in fact a daddy. He finishes the 4th best quarterback in fantasy this year. Led all quarterbacks. No quarterback had more games of 17 or more fantasy points than Trevor Lawrence. The Traveler had 12 of them this year, Connor.
Yeah, he was pretty amazing, and as was his somehow his Robin to his Batman, Parker Washington. Yes, that's a real sentence, everyone. Parker Washington closes out the season on a strong note.
On a team with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington led the Jags in targets, receptions, and receiving yards this year. 17 more fantasy points in 68 games where he saw at least 20% target shares. Like we said with Kenneth Gainwell, Parker Washington can play.
Yeah.
The two things that came out of this year with the Jaguars, I believe, was that Trevor Lawrence became a franchise quarterback, like in the way that he was drafted to be, and Parker Washington can play football.
Yeah. Look, the Bills, they don't have to worry about Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in January, but they do have to worry about Parker Washington, which is maybe a bigger mountain to conquer.
I think the Jaguars have a very real chance at winning that game.
Yeah, it's pick.
Right.
So like Bills -1 is basically a coin flip.
Yeah.
Well, the Bills yesterday, much different looking version of them. Mitch Trubisky and Ray Davis go off. Mitch Trubisky, a very efficient 22 of 29. He had 4 touchdowns. Ray Davis over 150 yards. He also caught 2 passes, scored on 1. I tried to warn everyone. No one wanted to listen to me.
You were no, you were right on this kind of when you gave out Bills -6.5 or whatever it was earlier in the week.
Friday was that. And you see where it closed.
Look, there is something of an edge, particularly with early week stuff, and just like knowing your team, the team that you watch every single week.
Your team stinks.
Yeah, and because at that point there was some thought maybe Josh Allen will play. Josh Allen didn't play. It was Mitch Trubisky. Line closed 11.5, and they won by 1 million points. So good call there, Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, he's a high-end backup in the league, and potentially has maybe even done enough in limited time to be a lower-end bridge starter for a team that needs that.
Ray Davis, just again, when he gets opportunity, again, just so important for anyone that drafts James Cook next year. Ray Davis can be the guy when he gets the opportunity. He's had 2 games where he's seen at least 20 touches. He has 150 yards from scrimmage in both of them as well for Ray Davis. Crazy, though, to think about how many Jets games Connors has watched, but not Star Wars.
Yeah. See where I allocated my time?
Just imagine if you're Connor's eyes. It's cruel. It's cruel.
My memory back.
That too.
Tyler Shough makes our list, even though the Saints lost. Tyler Shough gets it done through the air and on the ground, Matthew. Saints got to be really excited about him going into next year.
Yeah, again, sort of a poor man's Jaxson Dart, I feel like, averaging over 25 rushing yards per game with his legs since week 13. Where he's been, by the way, the 6th best quarterback in fantasy. Shough is very much a top 20 guy next year. He's definitely a super flex 2 QB league kind of guy next year.
Yeah, I don't think he's a poor man's Jaxson Dart. I think he's a man's Jaxson Dart.
Man's Jaxson Dart.
Well, I think the equivalent man's Jaxson Dart. But it's very encouraging he's able to do this without Chris Olave. Also, his receivers did not help him out yesterday. There were some drop passes.
Kevin Austin, where are you at?
Yeah, not great.
Matthew, you had to wait for this one, but Chase Brown makes the list again. What a second half of the year for Chase Brown.
Unbelievable. Led me to that 7th place finish.
That's right. We'll never forget it.
We'll never forget it.
I know you'll never forget it.
1,000%. Since week 8, the 3rd best running back in fantasy, finished top 10 among running backs in touches and yards from scrimmage. Back-to-back seasons now with double-digit touchdowns. And so everyone's back for Cincinnati. Bengals are down. Zach Taylor is coming back. Duke Tobin is coming back, which means we expect Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, the entire offense to be back as well.
Justin Jefferson finishes with a 101-yard game, gets to 1,000 yards. It was a long climb to get there.
It was a long climb. Good that he was able to have this game at all with J.J. McCarthy. As you see, the top 10 fantasy wide receivers from Week 18, Justin Jefferson comes in at 9th. So, yeah, good way for J.J. to end the season. He will be a second-round pick next year, I would guess, and flash some upside with McCarthy.
Tank Bigsby was my desperation play on Fantasy Football pregame yesterday morning. Look, ends up as a top 10 running back as well, over 17 fantasy points. Bigsby is, again, much like Ray Davis, assuming he's back with Philadelphia next year. For those that draft Saquon, take Bigsby. When he's gotten opportunities, he's proven it. Nice trade there for the Eagles from Jacksonville as well. Last one I just want to mention here is a weekend warrior. Alec Pierce, your man Alec Pierce, gets screwed. That was the worst interference call. Go watch the tape. The ref actually walks into Pierce. Pierce is gesticulating, and the ref is just walking and sort of walks into him. That ejection was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Horrible. Bad year for the refs. Went out somehow worse.
Gesticulating. Yep.
Gesticulating.
Gesturing or gesticulating.
Gesticulating is the word.
Gesticulating and gesturing.
You really boyoed the ref.
I really did boyo that. That's absolutely right. You're not allowed to talk to me, Jar Jar. But Jay, you can talk crap to me.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
Oh, the crown is yours.
Back to the futures on a Monday. Feels funky.
It does.
What do you got, Jay?
Okay, so I'm going Super Bowl exact result market. I'm taking the Seahawks to defeat the Jags in the Super Bowl at plus 2,800. I think the Seahawks are the second best team in the NFC after the Rams, but they're more likely to make the Super Bowl because they have the bye and the path to the Super Bowl goes through Seattle. And then I think the Jags are the second best team in the AFC behind only the Bills, and I think they beat the Bills, which is a coin flip game. I think that they'll win the AFC.
Well, we are aligned, Jay, because I'm taking Jacksonville to win the AFC at plus 550. Wow. I like the value of this bet, but I like the team. They're excellent against the run, which is really important against the playoffs. They have a quarterback playing at a high level, a coach that's a really good play caller, and they're home. So I'm excited about Jacksonville in this AFC bracket that feels very, very open. Give me the value of plus 550.
Especially as we've talked about. Denver's the number 1 seed, and they just beat the crap out of them. The Jaguars did, a couple of weeks ago. I'm taking the Eagles to win the NFC at plus 475. I just think Philadelphia is a really tough place to play. I weirdly think it's tougher than Seattle. Seattle's not invincible at home, and weird things happen. So I just think that veteran presence, we've seen Sam Darnold melt down in big games here. So I think Seattle falters somewhere on the way to the NFC, and then ultimately it's going to have to go through Philadelphia. The link is impossible to play in. I think the fact, been there, done that for this team and that leadership, I think the Eagles wind up in the Super Bowl again.
I just want to go to the Jags bar for a playoff game.
I want to do my draft. I want to do my DraftKings segment from the pool. Yeah, I'm like when NBC's hosting a Jaguars game. Yeah, Aloha Bricks producer Steven's about to uninvite Jay to the Jags bar.
I got you guys in the Super Bowl. Come on.
He just picked, but I know, but you are the curse of Jay.
True.
Yeah,
well, maybe you'll beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl because of the curse. The curse works in mysterious ways.
All right, I'm going to go watch Godfather 2. Connor's going to watch
all 9 Star Wars movies.
All 9 Star Wars.
I'm not coming with a show tomorrow.
And then we are back tomorrow with playoff rankings for everyone doing playoff formats. There's a ton of them out there, so it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Jay and Connor, I'm Matthew. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.